Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything, continuing our Drawing Every Country in the World's Flag series. And we're going to be going back into the Middle East, into the Levant again, and we're going to be doing Lebanon. So Lebanon sits next to Syria. Syria is to the north and Israel to the south. A lot of rich history in the Levant region there. And this is a special request episode. One of my fans, you know who you are, said, James, can you draw a flag that has a tree in it? And I actually kind of had to think of that for a minute because I don't think there's too many. And I had to look at my my handy reference sheet, my reference roll of flags. And I knew there was one of them, and I just couldn't remember off the top of my head. And sure enough, yeah, it was Lebanon. So as I'm just going to kind of start drawing here, it's a pretty cool flag. I actually like this one quite a bit, just because it's very unique, and it sort of reminds me of the Appeal to Heaven flag. If you're familiar with like the proto, United States flags from kind of like the Revolutionary period, leading up to the Revolutionary War. That's a pretty popular one. So yeah, and just kind of reminds me of that. So as I'm coloring in these red bands, and I'll tell you right now what the red means. If you've been paying attention to my channel for more than 5 seconds, you know red means the blood and the sacrifice of the people for independence. And yeah, so Lebanon, kind of in an unfortunate situation right now. A lot of rich history, though, in that region of the world. Lebanon has kind of always, just due to its geography, been in the crossroads of a lot of different powers. The Roman Empire was a major center for Christianity for a very long time under the Byzantines. It was taken over by some Muslim caliphates for a while there. Then there was Crusades, Mamelukes rebellion, and then eventually kind of getting more into the modern period, like 19th century, they fell under control of the Ottoman Empire. And the Ottoman Empire pretty much controlled almost all of the Middle East up until World War I. And again, if you've been paying attention to any of my videos, you know that World War I, not necessarily the war itself, but the aftermath of World War I is the root cause of a lot of problems in the Middle East. So the French take over Lebanon with the mandate of Syria and Lebanon. Lebanon gains independence from France in 1943. But just kind of due to the religious diversity of the area, there's a lot of conflict in that region. Christians, Muslims, kind of popped off into a civil war, the Lebanese Civil War of 1975 to 1990. And, excuse me, and that resulted in the displacement of a lot of Lebanese people. So Lebanon, a lot of immigration to the United States, to Europe, kind of as a result of that civil war. And that civil war, very complicated, can't get into all of it here, but yeah, it's kind of another legacy of the Cold War, when the Christians of Lebanon kind of buddied up to like the Western powers, the United States, the European Union, and then the Muslim powers kind of buddied up to the Soviets. And that's a little bit more complicated than it sounds as well, because communism and the Muslim world never really meshed well, just because of communism kind of requires the abolition of religion. And as you know, Muslims are very devout. So yeah, that civil war was very disastrous to Lebanon. And yeah, unfortunately, it was over in 1990, but still kind of feel the effects of that war to this very day. And I'm just drawing a tree here, and as I'm kind of rambling about the history of Lebanon. And so they were occupied by Syrian forces from 1976 all the way to 2005. And also the IDF, Israeli army, occupied them from 1985 to 2000. And yeah, just kind of a hot spot in that particular region. Not all Lebanon's fault, if you want to call it that, either. There's a lot of instability in that region as well. A lot of Syrian refugees made their way to Lebanon. A lot of Palestinians, due to the conflict in those regions. So they're kind of just at an unfortunate geography, kind of, just led to a lot of these crises being a lot more than just simple, like, capitalist versus communist powers, or like Muslims versus Christians. There's a lot going on there. And Lebanon was once, a very, it's always had, a lot of culture and a lot of rich history there, dating back to ancient times, Romans and biblical times and whatnot. But, yeah, they were the center of banking as well. There was a lot of banking in Lebanon, and that took a massive hit with the Civil War and all of the emigration from Lebanon to other countries. They kind of lost some of their best and brightest to other parts of the world. And I'm just going to make this a little bit darker, this tree here. I'm not really liking this green, so we'll just go over that again. And yeah, you know who you are that requested a tree flag. So here you go. Here's Lebanon. And yeah, I do like this flag. I think it's really unique. So what is the tree, James? It's a green cedar tree that represents eternity, steadiness, happiness, and prosperity for Lebanon. And we here at James Draws Everything hope for peace and prosperity to all of these countries, even the ones that kicked me out. That I'm no longer welcome in a lot of these countries after saying some things about them, turning their flags into menthol packs and whatnot. They'll get over it. All right, so let me just keep detailing this flag here, and I'm trying to think of the last country that I got on the bad side of. I don't know if I've gotten on yet. I'm okay with the Seychelles, Palau, Chile, Togo. Chile and Togo, I liken their flags to candy. I don't know. I don't think that's a bad thing, is it? Most people like candy. So yeah, Lebanon. We got the cedar tree going here. Just kind of finishing that off. Yeah, and it is kind of an ornate design, a little complicated. It's not just like simple triangles like you think of when you draw like your Christmas decorations or whatever. It's got a lot going on here, a lot of cool little branches and roots and stuff. So just channel my James channeling his inner Bob Ross here, just drawing those beautiful roots, beautiful leaves of that cedar tree. Happy leaves. Yeah, so I don't know how happy Lebanon is right now, but again, James Draws Everything. We always hope for the best. And yeah, so let's just finish off that flag here with our borders. A black border on the top, black border on the bottom, and then we'll just close off the right side and the left side. Not particularly in that order, but actually, yeah, it did work out in that order. All right. What are you talking about, James? All right. And then the white. Does the white mean anything on this flag? It denotes peace and snow of the mountains. All right. So let's just finish that off. Lebanon. Yeah, I know. In my particular part of the world, Lebanese food festivals are pretty popular, so I do like Lebanese food. If you ever get a chance to go to one of those, hit them up. Again, Lebanon has always been at the crossroads of a lot of great powers, great civilizations, so a lot of different culinary influences from Greeks, Romans, the Muslim world. They've all entered that particular area. So Lebanon, you're A-okay in my book. And there's your flag. So let me know what you think about Lebanon. You know who you are. There's your tree flag. So like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next video.